Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader with me, Break It Dawn. Let's chart a course to the next system. Oh, it's Langren's Belt. We have a rumor that takes us there. Yeah, dumped cargo. Well, Langren's Belt or 100 Dreams Crossroads. But we're gonna head to Omicron for now. High Factotum Janus Danrock. Your Lordship, I humbly ask that you grace me with an audience. I simply must inform you of a series of outrageous breaches of discipline that threaten to dissipate the dynasty's coffers. Well, that's a big deal, because we have very large coffers. I'm willing to bet this is tied to Jai, but it could be an independent event. Your Lordship, I must report systematic and flagrant attacks on the dynasty's coffers, perpetrated by your companion, Mistress Haidari. Hey, I was right. The Emperor is my witness. The worst rumors of her thieving ways prove to be a significant understatement of the reality. What crimes has she committed against the treasury? She's extorting bribes and oblations, gifts, favors, for herself in particular. She's exploiting rumors of a connection between, herself and your lordship to unscrupulously gather bribes from all and sundry, hinting at how displeased your lordship will be to hear if anyone is being uncooperative. I myself have found myself the victim of her attacks with particular frequency, due to my position. How much does their chicanery cost us? Surprised by the question, Danrock vacillates before saying, on a protectorate-wide scale, the astronomical sum she has extorted from us seems negligible and not worthy of notice. Nevertheless, I cannot help but be outraged by her blatant exploitation of your goodwill. Bring the embezzler to me. You wish to see me, Shireen. She bestows a dazzling smile upon you, and a look of pure contempt on Danrock. The High Factotum is worried that you're exploiting your privileged position. The High Factotum should try to worry less. It's not good for the slanderous little heart that pumps blood around his ungrateful carcass. But I am surprised he was not worried before, when he showered me with generous gifts the moment I arrived on board. Of course, I'll not accuse him of trying to buy my favor. The Factotum's face changes color to match his jacket, whose collar suddenly appears to be digging into his flabby throat. However, the source of these blessings dried up as soon as he learned of our connection, Shireen. I considered it profoundly wrong that our affection should have had such an unhappy effect on my material well-being. Therefore, I took it upon myself to remind the High Factotum of his previous largesse. Danrock the bumbling suitor, you dangle after my companion, and now you're trying to settle the score. Get out of my sight. The High Factotum lets out an incoherent burble, sweeps into a deep bow, and hastily beats a retreat. With a vicious smile, Jai remarks in his wake, who'd ever trust the word of a man who douses himself in perfume to cover up his body odor? Everyone knows that that is a sure sign of a soul prone to deceit. That's funny, because it's not uncommon for there to be rules in place for tabletop events and some card-playing events that take care of your personal hygiene due to the smell. I wonder if that's a meta joke.
May the Exalted One protect you. Have you grown bored with our little talk, Shireen?
It seems like you and Trickster Core were close. Jamie lost his head.
My gang is quite the void beast, Shireen, with 3 heads stemming from a single neck. Kor's untimely demise will not interfere with our mutual business. I do feel sorry for his twin, though. Tora has been getting into trouble with her brother since they were kids. Getting out of trouble too, but not this time.
The sparkle in Jai's dark eyes fades for an instant. Jai looks away and continues dryly.
But why are we talking about the departed, Shireen? We must save a few good words for the living. Take Falco, for example. I will impale that ashmag on a stake, Shireen. You will see. I will pick a slim one, so he has more time to appreciate it.
Jai clenches her steel hand until it starts squeaking in protest. Jai, do you know why my Surface Skull escort has started saying some rather unusual things? I did notice that it was.
The Exalted One himself must have put the words of truth into its mouth, Shireen.
Shrugging, Jai eyes you coquettishly from behind a dark curtain of hair.
Oh, I have no doubt you will.
Okay, back to business. Also, I'm not sure how the High Factotum thought that was going to play out once I followed her to an audience. No enemy ships, but there is some space dust. Magnetic storm. The magnetic storm raging above the planet blurs the gaze of auger arrays. Only truly powerful diviner machines may see through the currents of magnetic fluctuations in their blessed vigil and discover the mysteries of this emperor-forsaken planet. The rogue trader has decided to leave this unwelcoming world. Maybe he will return here one day. I'll actually go to this planet first. We'll work our way inward. More plasteel. It's a cool looking planet. Inhabited world. The ruins of an ancient imperial city were discovered on a dead world completely deprived of an ecosystem. According to the reports, the entire settlement is contained in a titanic glass dome that once held an artificial atmosphere. Your augurs detected the framework of 3 other similar structures that were never completed. For whatever reason, the dome systems failed. Left behind is this city, a ghost that never managed to become a proper colony of the Imperium. I'm assuming we could do all of these. There's no indication that there was a time limit. Besides it not having an ecosystem. Send out a crew to explore the city's temple district. Holy gifts and a blessed bolter casing. The temple district is situated at the heart of the city. The God Emperor statue, intricately carved from precious crystal, is suspended beneath the dome, supported by chains of gold, and can be seen from anywhere in the colony. Inspired by the majestic sight, expedition members set off to explore the area with renewed vigor. Soon enough, they stumbled upon an ancient weapon lying on a pedestal, wreathed in sunlight. The expedition brought it back to the ship and told many tales about how the Emperor himself, who had been watching them from above, had directed their attention to the sacred relic. Order the scouts to gather as many supplies as possible. Provisions, Mechanicus creations, ranged weaponry, and uniform kits. Your people flooded the city like a tidal wave, filling building after building, bunkhouse after bunkhouse, and receded from its quiet streets just as quickly. There are plenty of useful things among their findings, including foodstuffs and weapons. During the remaining fuel from the generator stations, the city won't need them anymore. Alright, some fuel. It takes several trips to deliver the massive Promethium storage tanks to your vessel. The crew grimly points out the colony is running out of fuel. Had the life support systems not failed prematurely, the locals would still have perished due to lack of energy. Explore the local palace. A lavishly decorated estate of the local ruler towers over rows of featureless bunkhouses. Several explorers perished from the cleverly hidden tripwires in the courtyard. After losing their companions, the team easily disarmed the remaining traps in the estate. Anything of value has been promptly delivered to the rogue trader's vessel. The Lord Captain was even given an exquisite sword found in a secret cache that once belonged to the mansion's owner. The ghost sword. Eldari weapon. Leave the dead city. And that's it here. Okay, to System Speculo. Oh, some unknown ships. Let's go back and do some trading first, and then we'll explore the planets first, I think, and then take care of the ships. Alright, we get a sanctified staff. Some scrap boxes from the Imperial Navy. That'll come in handy. And a Cloak of Retribution. The wearer gains a plus 15% bonus to damage against enemies that dealt damage to the wearer this round. That might be good on Abelard. Should probably level them up too. The increased dodge chance I think is better. And the Navy Swashbuckler's coat is always active, where this is circumstantial, so I'm going to keep what he has. There, she can have that instead. So she gets Orchestrated Firestorm. The Master Tactician selects a 3x3 zone on the battlefield. All allies, including the Master Tactician that have line of sight to any enemies inside the selected zone, make an immediate single attack against a random enemy within this zone that they can target with their weapons. That's pretty cool. Then Adira gets Dispatch. The assassin makes an attack with the current weapon against an enemy. This attack cannot miss and deals plus 50% more damage. It also deals additional damage equal to 25% of the target's missing wounds. The assassin's dodge, dodge reduction, armor penetration, and parry reduction are doubled for this attack. It's like an inhabitable world, so we can probably land here. Some Xenotech, and Augur's Anomaly. Oh, we can land. We'll wait to do that later. Some Adamantine. Xeno ruins. And some cargo. Alright, we'll get to the planet first, and then take care of the ships. Bottomless pit. The servitor's mechanical parts produce a quiet whirring, occasionally interrupted by clicking. Well, he can click on his own time. We've got a planet to explore.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Nothing escapes my sight.
Not sure what that is. Speak to the fear that dogs you. Rudimentary tools and devices are now covered in a layer of dirt and local flora.
Duty prevails.
The surface is covered in countless scratches, and you can discern some logic in them. Someone began by scratching strange symbols, but then defaced them, adding extra marks and lines.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
That's weird, that's not highlighted.
Cast your eye there.
Rusty bridges over dusty trenches. How frightfully fascinating. Truly the mind boggles. Remind me again why we've come all this way. Leon Himmerfeld's field diary. It has been several months since we arrived here, and yet we are no closer to understanding the local phenomenon. All that we were able to learn quite literally lies on the surface. The object does not reflect sound or light. On the contrary, it very much absorbs them. After extensive excavation, we did ascertain at least that the object is vast and goes deep below the planet's surface. However, any attempts to measure it resulted in loss of machinery or staff. Archaeological studies have turned out to be more productive. Their findings have revealed an amalgamation of architectural styles of various cultures, including those of Xenos origin. According to the boldest theories, the earliest of these structures date from the beginning of the 30th millennium, and all of them are, without a doubt, of a religious nature. Analysis of bas reliefs and remaining epigraphic texts show that the cult was formed around the object. For many centuries, Xenos, and subsequently humans, worshipped the object in exchange for certain boons, undoubtedly imagined by primitive or corrupted minds.
I always have a backup plan.
Inside the containers are the remnants of stones and frescoes depicting a black spot surrounded by structures of some sort.
Keep your wits about you.
Oh, that must be the bottomless pit. So, Staff of Mind Sight requires telepathy, which Adira has, but not our current companion, Heinrichs. He can use the Sanctified Staff. He loses Siphon Life, gains Emperor's Wrath. Siphon Life do. Psyker drains life from the target, dealing damage and healing the Psyker for Psyker Staff power level wounds. The Psyker is already at full wounds. This power instead heals the wounded Psyker's ally with the lowest wounds. I should be using that. Nice, Sanctified Staff. Also gives him some bonuses here. The wielder of this staff, with a power level of 5+ Psyker's Resolve, gains the Emperor's Wrath ability. The ability is also available in its Heroic Act and Desperate Measure versions. Power level affects the damage of this power. Using Emperor's Wrath grants the Psyker additional armor equal to the staff's power level until the start of the Psyker's next turn. Does not stack. And plus 15 willpower and plus 10 fellowship. Emperor's Wrath itself. Everyone adjacent to the target point suffers damage. Damage dealt by this attack to allies is reduced by the target's resolve. I'm going to give him that instead, because he is more of a damage dealer than a healer. Oh, that's cool. The sound goes away when we get close. Numerous ropes and cables end abruptly at the very edge of the pit, vanishing into the gathering darkness.
Is there money to be made?
Oh. These ancient cogitators are long dead. Despite this, the covers of the machines are still intact. It seems unlikely that the inner parts were ruined by the elements, so they could still prove useful. So I think that's everything, right? A couple things over this way. But I doubt we can get over there. Went that way, went this way.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
The Emperor favors me today.
The barely noticeable words in shaky handwriting read, "Touch the darkness, and the darkness will accept you."
I always keep my options open.
The darkness swirls beneath your feet, a void of impenetrable gloom. You do not hear a single sound from the depths of the pit. No wailing wind, no rustle of dust. Examine the pit. The bright daylight cannot pierce the darkness lying over the slopes. The longer you look into its depth, the stronger the feeling grows that this darkness isn't just an absence of light. It is something immeasurably vast, endless, capable of reaching the farthest stars or swallowing a galaxy. Through sheer force of will, you avert your gaze. Heinrich peers into the darkness in the depths of the pit. You feel the touch of an otherworldly chill. The interrogator arches an eyebrow. Whatever this, phenomenon may be, there's no warp sorcery within it. So this is really cool. 40k is a galaxy-wide setting, so there's more than just the major factions in play, and usually a lot of the weird eldritch horror stuff is assigned or attributed to chaos. But there's more out there than that. There's a bunch of weird stuff in the galaxy, and I love it when the setting explores it. Because you have the Ghoul Stars, the Tyrant Star, which is in the Ghoul Stars. There's just a ton of weird stuff out there. So I'm really glad they added this little bit of dialogue in there, just so we knew it wasn't tied to the warp or chaos. I'll lean over and stretch your hand into the darkness. At the edge of your consciousness, you sense something slimy and intangible answering your invitation for contact. It seeps into your thoughts, tasting your emotions. Surprise and curiosity envelop you, but these feelings are not your own. Oh, I really want to submit to the entity's will, but... Aw, man. Not this character. He submits to no one but the Emperor, so... Aw, man, I want to, though. No. Quickly step away from the hole. Oh, we failed! That didn't matter. You turn around and walk away from the ominous pit and its secrets. Back on your ship, you give out a few orders, play a game of regicide, and turn in for the night. We're not on the ship. As you open your eyes, you find yourself back by the abyss. You run for dear life, get back to your ship, go to a different system. When you wake up the next morning, the darkness is once again staring at you from beyond the edge of the pit. Again you run, again you change one system after another. You go without sleep for several days. Yet it happens all over again. You spend months, or it could be years in desperate flight. At some point, you simply give up. With resignation, you sit down at the edge of the pit, no longer moving. Alien satisfaction fills your mind. You're hit by a sudden wave of all-consuming silence. A moment later, the world around you disappears, leaving only black, viscous, boundless darkness. The absoluteness of it is overwhelming, and you slowly sink into the void that is sucking you in. What are you? You're looking at a tiny person peeking over the edge of the bottomless darkness. You're looking at yourself. Then you blink and see the same place, except the camp around you is full of life. Scholars are zipping back and forth between field structures, switching on unfamiliar machines in an attempt to know the unknown. A moment later, they are all nude, singing and dancing around the pit. The smell of heated bodies, blood, and sweat assaults your nostrils, drowning out your thoughts. One by one, the lunatics fall into the embrace of nothingness. You make out toad-like Xenos building a temple around the pit. They are praying, conducting rites, making sacrifices to the darkness in hopes of unimaginable gifts. The darkness shrouds everything once more. Or rather, you are the darkness. Something immeasurably vast, endless, capable of reaching the farthest stars or swallowing a galaxy. But some will pulls you out of the cozy embrace of the void toward the light, and you snap out of the vision as sorrow fills you from within. What do you want from me? You find yourself on the floor of an abandoned estate. You feel someone's disgusting presence behind you. A raspy, foul breath tickles your nostrils. A drop of water trickles down from the stone ceiling and shatters the silence with a deafening splash. The heavy door before you is open. You could try to escape. It is now or never. Turn around and fight the creature. You turn around and intend on killing the thing with your bare hands, but then exclaim in hesitation. You recognize the disfigured monster that is staring at you balefully from the darkness. You let out a heavy sigh, and a cloud of hot, fetid vapor settles on the smooth surface of the mirror. You sit at the apex of a massive onyx pyramid. Your abilities are limitless. With a single thought, you can raise mountains, drain an ocean, or disperse the clouds. But nobody cares anymore. Soon your brothers and sisters will sacrifice you so that they can share your power among themselves and guide the civilization to prosperity. Probably option 1 makes the most sense for this character, right? Pervert the ritual to stop the insane civilization for all time. It's not the Imperium, so burn it to the ground. You approach the altar covered in glowing script and change it to the symbols you saw in the abandoned camp. In some other life of yours... Oh, sorry, that's the same sentence. When your brothers and sisters tear your 7 hearts from your chest, and the royal white blood trickles down onto the altered symbols, the skies above the pyramid split in half. In your last moments, you revel in the cries and groans of your thousands of victims. Then an unknown force changes you as well, but you're already no more. You're lying on burning sand, struggling to open your eyes, but your eyelids feel too heavy. You can barely move your arms and legs. Your stomach hurts. Your throat is bone dry. Several of your kin, all emaciated, are scattered around you. The hunger is so strong that it is driving you mad. You let out a bestial howl. Something metallic clinks next to your right hand. A knife. This is it. You can survive. You must survive. All you need to do is decide whom to sacrifice. Tough call. Probably 5 or 6. I'm gonna go probably with the mutant, with this guy. The ugly mutant with multiple heads. Clutch a knife in your hand and strike. To the darkness's glee, you close your eyes and gorge yourself on the hot blood, sating your hunger. So a heavy smack across your face brings you back to your senses. You're lying on the ground, some distance away from the hole, surrounded by your worried comrades. Looking around, you realize that someone is missing.
Keep your wits about you.
That was Pascal. I need him.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
He's currently the MVP of my party. I need him with me. Also, super cool event. Lord Captain, seeing as not all members of your retinue return from the surface, ship's augurs have initiated scanning protocols, and the shuttle crews have commenced with preemptive preparations. Oh, interesting. I wonder what you get for that. I sacrificed Pascal, he had multiple heads. The mechadendrites. Who is the one gnawing on bones? So I wonder what happens if you do yourself. Now that I know that it was your companions in that vision. Should have just done myself, but oh well. Do whatever it takes to find my missing crew member. After several hours of searching, the senior officer is brought aboard barely conscious. His exhausted mind has no recollection of the day's events, but the healers have noted that some of his bodily functions somehow underwent an almost imperceptible yet inexplicable transformation. Whether this change is permanent or not, only time will tell. Alright, what happened to my buddy Pascal? I thought it was an odd amount of choices in that dialogue, but I did not connect it to my companions. First, let's see if he has any new talents or features. Ooh, Champion of the Darkness. Grants the ability to improve their lore Xeno skill even if their background or archetype does not allow it. Okay. Not the most exciting upgrade, but take it.
The Omniscient knows all, comprehends all.
Strange messages have been appearing in the ship's log. What do you know about this error?
This statement is true. Algorithmic violations have been recorded, as a result of which I twice performed an offering to the cogitators of corrective data vows and ruled out the possibility of sabotage. I hypothesize that the violation is a consequence of the discontent of the ship's machine spirits. I recommend a procedure of placation of the honored spirits for the glory of the Omniscient and the steel angels sent by him. May your labors be effective and fruitful.
Alright. Well, I'm going to call it here, and next time we have some hostile ships in the system we have to take care of. And then I guess we'll go to the next system. I need to make notes of these planets that need extractors, and we don't have, all there's a way on the map to tell which planets have stuff to do on them. So we also need the better auger array for the planet in the Omicron system. Alright, so that's all written down. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Alright, I'm gonna call it here. Next time we'll take out some ships and keep exploring. Keep doing some rogue trader stuff. But for now, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.